My friends, the morning is not just the beginning of another day, it is the birth of new possibilities. Each sunrise is like a silent whisper from God, reminding us that life is precious, that time is sacred, and that every new day is a fresh chance to shine brighter than yesterday. Yet, what do most of us do? We rush, we scroll, we get lost in noise before we even taste the silence of dawn. But what if I told you that in just 20 minutes, you could set the tone for your entire day? That in 20 minutes, you could awaken your spirit, fuel your energy, and step into the world not with stress, but with strength. The way we start our mornings shapes the way we live our lives. And today, I want to share with you how to shine brighter in just 20 minutes every morning with God as your guiding light. When you wake up in the morning, the very first thought you choose becomes the seed of the entire day. Imagine this: you open your eyes and instead of instantly reaching for your phone or thinking about the mountain of tasks that await you, you pause. You place your hand on your heart, you take a deep breath, and you whisper a simple thank you to God for allowing you to see another sunrise. That one act of gratitude transforms the ordinary morning into something sacred. Gratitude is not just about saying thanks. It is about shifting your entire perspective. It is about acknowledging that life is not a burden, but a gift, not an accident, but a blessing. Think of the people you know who carry a glow on their faces, who seem unshaken by challenges, who radiate peace even in chaos. What is their secret? More often than not, it is gratitude. Gratitude is the lens that changes the way we see everything. For example, instead of waking up and complaining, "Why is my life so difficult? Why do I have so many problems?" A grateful heart wakes up and says, "Thank you, God, for giving me another day to learn, to love, and to grow. Thank you for this body that carries me. Thank you for this breath that sustains me. Thank you for the opportunities I don't yet see, but are on their way." Gratitude does not mean that life is perfect. It means that we choose to focus on what is good, even while challenges exist. Suppose you have a small cup of water. If you complain about the half that is missing, you will always feel thirsty. But if you appreciate the half that is full, you will drink it with joy, and your thirst will be quenched. In the same way, life is never completely full or completely empty. It is always in between. Gratitude teaches us to drink deeply from what we have, instead of wasting our energy on what we don't. Let's take a daily life example. Imagine a mother who wakes up every morning before everyone else. She has endless responsibilities: cooking, preparing, managing the house. She could easily complain about how tiring it is. But instead, she chooses gratitude. She whispers a thank you for the chance to serve her family, for the little feet running around the house, for the laughter and chaos that fill her days. This gratitude turns her duties into devotion, her exhaustion into strength. Gratitude does not change her workload, but it changes her heart. And when the heart changes, the entire experience of life changes. Now think about someone who faces difficulties, financial struggles, health challenges, or personal losses. It is easy to feel defeated in such moments. But I've met people who, despite their hardships, shine with an inner light. When I asked them how they managed to smile in pain, their answer was simple: "I thank God for what I still have." They are grateful for the breath that still flows through them, for the chance to try again, for the love that still surrounds them. Their gratitude becomes their strength. It doesn't erase the problem, but it gives them the courage to face it. When you wake up with gratitude, you are not just being polite with life, you are aligning yourself with the divine. God responds to a grateful heart by opening doors you never imagined. A person who constantly complains may find that no matter what they receive, it is never enough. But a grateful person, even with little, feels abundant, and abundance attracts abundance. Gratitude creates a cycle of blessings. Let me share a small story. There was once a man who lived in a tiny house with very little wealth. But every morning, he would step outside, look at the sky, and thank God. He would say, "I may not have much, but I have enough. I may not know tomorrow, but I trust you." Over time, his gratitude brought him peace, opportunities, and respect in his community. He became known not for his wealth, but for his contentment. People trusted him because his heart radiated positivity. You see, gratitude is magnetic. It not only changes you, but it also inspires everyone around you. Think about your own mornings. How do you begin? Do you immediately let stress and anxiety rush in? Or do you pause to connect with the higher power that gifted you another day? Even just 2 minutes of gratitude can shift your vibration. Thank God for the breath in your lungs, for the roof above your head, for the people who care for you, for the opportunities you sometimes overlook. And if you feel like there is nothing to be grateful for, then at least be grateful for life itself, because life is the platform upon which every blessing can unfold. Remember, this gratitude is not a reaction, it is a choice. If we only thank God when life is perfect, we will rarely thank Him. But when we thank Him even in imperfection, life itself becomes perfect in our eyes. Gratitude doesn't make life easier, it makes us stronger. Gratitude doesn't remove challenges, it removes the heaviness with which we carry them. And gratitude doesn't just brighten our mornings, it brightens our souls. So tomorrow when you wake up, don't let your first thought be a complaint or a worry. Let it be a thank you. Whisper it, feel it, mean it. Say, "Thank you, God, for today." That single act will set the tone for the entire day. Gratitude turns the ordinary into extraordinary, the rushed into sacred, and the morning into a divine blessing. And when your day begins with gratitude, you don't just live, you shine. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it is the language of God. In our fast-paced lives, we are constantly surrounded by sounds, notifications on our phones, conversations around us, traffic on the roads, and even the noise of our own restless thoughts. We rarely pause to notice that this continuous flood of noise keeps us away from the most important connection we could have, the connection with our own soul and with the divine. To breathe in silence each morning is to give yourself the gift of peace, the gift of clarity, the gift of strength. When you wake up and sit quietly, closing your eyes and focusing on your breath, you will realize something profound. Every inhale is a reminder that life is flowing into you. Every exhale is a gentle release of what you no longer need. Breathing with awareness is more than just a physical act. It is a spiritual practice. It is as if you are inhaling God's calmness and exhaling your worries. In that silence, you begin to feel that you are not separate from the universe, but part of it. You are not lost in chaos. You are resting in the arms of something eternal. Let me give you a simple daily life example. Imagine a person who wakes up and immediately checks their messages, their emails, and their social media feed. Within 5 minutes, their mind is crowded with other people's opinions, comparisons, and expectations. Before their day has even started, their inner peace is disturbed. Now imagine the same person taking 5 minutes in the morning to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and listen to the silence. Instead of filling themselves with noise, they fill themselves with calmness. When they later open their phone, They are not shaken by what they see, because their mind is already anchored in peace. That is the difference silence makes. Many people think silence is empty, but silence is actually full. It is full of answers we cannot hear in the rush. It is full of strength we cannot feel in the noise. Just as muddy water clears itself when left still, the restless mind also clears itself when we allow it to sit in silence. In those few moments of breathing deeply and calmly, clarity begins to rise. We see problems differently, we feel lighter, and we realize that many of the things we stress about are not as heavy as they seemed. Silence creates space inside us, and in that space, God can whisper His guidance. Think about how a candle flame looks in the middle of a storm. It flickers and struggles to survive, but in a quiet room, it stands still, shining brightly. Our mind is that candle. When surrounded by storms of noise, it flickers with worry, doubt, and distraction. But in the quiet of the morning, when we breathe in silence, our inner flame shines steady and strong. That strength carries us throughout the day. Even in practical life, silence has tremendous power. Think of someone working in a busy office. If they begin their day with a few minutes of silence, they step into work with focus and calmness. When challenges come, they are not shaken easily. They respond instead of react. Their colleagues notice that they remain peaceful, while others get stressed. That inner calm becomes their power. They don't need to shout or argue, because their silence speaks louder than noise. There is also another beauty in silence. It teaches us humility. In silence, we realize we don't control everything. We surrender. We understand that life is not about forcing every outcome, but about trusting the one who controls it all. Breathing in silence teaches us to let go, to flow, to align with God's rhythm, instead of resisting it. And when we flow with that rhythm, life feels lighter, smoother, and more graceful. Take another example. A student, before going into an exam, feels nervous and anxious. Instead of panicking, the student closes their eyes, takes 3 deep breaths, and sits in silence for a moment. In those breaths, the nervousness settles. The heart slows down. The mind clears. That silence gives them the focus they need. This shows us that silence is not just for spiritual people meditating in caves. It is for all of us in every walk of life. In every moment we feel shaken. And the beauty is, it does not take long. Even 2 minutes of silence in the morning can create a huge difference. You don't need special equipment. You don't need a perfect environment. You just need yourself, your breath, and the willingness to pause. Sit by your window, on your bed, or even in your car before driving off. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and let silence do its work. In those moments, you will feel a presence greater than yourself. That is God's presence, subtle yet powerful. Silence is not escaping the world. It is preparing yourself to live in the world with strength and wisdom. When you breathe in silence, you are not running away from your responsibilities. You are fueling yourself to face them with clarity. Just as a warrior sharpens his sword before battle, silence sharpens your mind and strengthens your spirit before the battles of the day. So, tomorrow morning, instead of rushing, give yourself a few minutes of silence. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. With every breath, feel gratitude, feel calmness, feel the divine. Notice how your heart softens, how your mind clears, how your body relaxes. That silence will not only stay with you for those moments, it will follow you throughout the day. And when challenges arise, you will respond with wisdom, not panic. Silence is not just quietness, it is sacred power. It is the place where your soul meets God. It is the mirror in which you see yourself clearly. It is the anchor that keeps you steady in life's storms. And when you begin your day with silence, you do not just live the day, you elevate it. The body is a sacred gift, a temple through which the soul expresses itself. Yet so often we neglect it, mistreat it, or ignore its needs. When we wake up in the morning, one of the most powerful ways to honor this temple is to move it with purpose. Movement is not just about exercise or fitness, it is about awakening the energy within, refreshing the mind, and showing gratitude to God for this incredible vessel we have been entrusted with. When you move your body in the morning, you are not just stretching muscles, you are stretching your spirit to step into the day with vitality and strength. Think of a stagnant pond compared to a flowing river. The stagnant pond becomes dull, lifeless, even polluted. But the flowing river sparkles, nourishes, and remains fresh. Our bodies are like that. When we do not move, energy stagnates, and we feel heavy, lazy, and uninspired. But when we stretch, walk, breathe deeply, or even take a few minutes to dance, life starts flowing again. Blood circulates, oxygen increases, and with it, clarity of thought and joy of heart arise. Movement in the morning is like lighting a fire inside you that keeps burning throughout the day. Consider a simple example from daily life. A person wakes up and immediately sits down to check their phone or scroll through social media. Within a few minutes, their back is stiff, their eyes are tired, and their energy feels low even though the day has just begun. Compare this with someone who, before touching the phone, stretches their arms, bends forward, takes a short walk, or does a few deep breathing exercises. Their body feels alive, their mind feels alert, and their mood lifts instantly. That little difference in the morning creates a huge difference in the day. Movement with purpose also carries a deeper meaning. When you stretch your body, you are also symbolically stretching your mind to be open to new possibilities. When you walk, you are reminding yourself to keep moving forward in life, no matter how small the steps. When you breathe deeply, you are consciously inviting God's energy into your being. Each act of physical movement can become a spiritual practice if done with awareness. It is not just exercise, it is prayer through motion. Think of a gardener who waters plants every morning. The plants, when nourished, bloom beautifully, offering shade, flowers, and fruits. But if the gardener neglects them, they wither and weaken. In the same way, our body, when cared for through purposeful movement, blooms with vitality, giving us the strength to serve, to love, and to fulfill our responsibilities. But if neglected, it becomes weak, heavy, and unable to support us in life's journey. God has given us this body not to abuse, but to use as an instrument of service and growth. Moving it with care is a form of gratitude. Let us take the example of someone who spends their entire day in front of a computer. Their work demands sitting for hours, which leads to tension in the back, stiffness in the neck, and tiredness in the eyes. If such a person begins their morning with just 10 minutes of stretching, their posture improves, their energy flows better, and their productivity increases. More importantly, they carry a sense of inner lightness throughout the day. What could have been a heavy, stressful day becomes manageable simply because they honored their body in the morning. There is also a strong connection between movement and emotions. Have you noticed how sadness makes the body slump while joy makes it dance? The body reflects the state of the mind. But here's the secret: the reverse is also true. By changing the way you move your body, you can influence your emotions. For example, if you wake up feeling dull or worried, try standing tall, breathing deeply, and moving energetically for a few minutes. you will notice how your mood begins to shift. The body and mind are like two instruments playing the same song. When one changes rhythm, the other follows. Morning movement is like tuning your instrument so the whole day plays in harmony. Even ancient traditions have always emphasized movement. From yoga to Tai Chi to simple breathing exercises, cultures across the world recognize that morning movement is not just physical but deeply spiritual. Each stretch, each pose, each breath was seen as a way to align the body with the higher energy of the universe. You don't need to be an expert to experience this. Even a short walk under the morning sky, even a few mindful stretches by your bedside can awaken that alignment. The key is to move with awareness, not mechanically. Think of a bird at sunrise. It doesn't rush into the day immediately. It stretches its wings, flaps them gently, and prepares itself before flying into the sky. That small preparation makes it ready for the journey ahead. In the same way, we too need to prepare our bodies every morning before we dive into the world. Movement becomes our way of opening our wings so that we can fly with energy and grace throughout the day. So when you wake up tomorrow, ask yourself, how can I honor this temple of mine? Instead of rushing into the noise of the world, take a few moments to move with purpose. Stretch as if you are releasing yesterday's worries. Walk as if you are stepping into new opportunities. Breathe as if you are inhaling divine strength. Every movement becomes meaningful when done with the awareness that your body is a gift from God and caring for it is an act of devotion. When you move your body with purpose each morning, you are not just preparing for the day, you are setting the tone for your entire life. A strong body supports a strong mind, and together there's a strong spirit. And with that strength, you can face challenges, embrace opportunities, and shine brighter with every step. Movement is not just exercise, it is energy, it is gratitude, it is prayer in motion. And when your body begins the day with purpose, the rest of your day follows the same rhythm, alive, energetic, and full of divine grace. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it at the beginning of the day is what will grow throughout. If you sow seeds of worry and negativity in the morning, then no matter how beautiful the day is, you will only notice its thorns. But if you nourish your mind with uplifting, positive, and God-centered thoughts, then even in the middle of challenges, you will notice opportunities, hope, and strength. That is why the morning is the most powerful time to feed your mind with thoughts that uplift your soul. What you feed your mind at sunrise determines the taste of your entire day. Imagine this: two people wake up in the morning. The first person immediately opens their phone and scrolls through news filled with chaos, negativity, and stress. Within minutes, their heart feels heavy, their mood sinks, and they already carry worry before even stepping out of bed. The second person, instead of rushing into the noise, sits quietly and reads a page of something inspirational, listens to a few minutes of wisdom, or simply reflects on a beautiful truth about life and God. That person begins the day with lightness, with clarity, and with strength. Both are entering the same world, but one is weighed down by mental clutter, while the other walks forward with an uplifted spirit. The difference lies only in what they chose to feed their mind in those first few minutes. The morning mind is fresh, like a blank canvas. Whatever colors you put on it first will shape the painting of your entire day. If the first thought is about stress, the canvas becomes dark. If the first thought is gratitude, wisdom, or inspiration, the canvas shines with light. That is why so many successful, peaceful, and spiritually strong people make it a habit to begin their mornings with uplifting reading, meditation, or reflection. They understand that just as the body needs nourishing food to remain strong, the mind too needs nourishing thoughts to remain clear and resilient. Think of how we feed our bodies. If we eat junk food first thing in the morning, we feel sluggish and drained. But if we eat something nourishing, we feel energetic and alive. The same applies to the mind. Consuming mental junk in the form of gossip, comparison, or negativity first thing in the morning weakens our inner strength. But feeding the mind with uplifting words, whether from scriptures, inspiring books, or even a simple positive affirmation, energizes us with wisdom and courage. Here's a small daily life example. A young professional, burdened with deadlines and stress, used to wake up and check work emails immediately. His mornings were filled with anxiety, and his whole day followed that energy. Then he decided to change one thing. He replaced checking emails with reading one page of an uplifting book in the morning. That small change shifted everything. Instead of anxiety, his mind began the day with clarity. Instead of panic, he carried focus. Feeding his mind with something nourishing gave him the strength to face his challenges with balance. Another example is of a homemaker who used to begin the day by worrying about all the chores ahead. Her mornings were filled with tension, and by the time the family woke up, she was already drained. One day, she decided to spend the first 10 minutes reading inspirational quotes and reflecting on God's blessings. That change transformed her mornings. She felt calmer, more joyful, and more patient. The chores remained, but now she faced them with a lighter heart. By feeding her mind with uplifting thoughts, she was able to uplift her entire family's energy as well. The truth is, whatever we consume mentally in the morning becomes the background music of our day. If the music is harsh and stressful, our steps feel heavy. If the music is peaceful and inspiring, our steps feel lighter. This is why it is so important to be mindful of what we allow into our minds, especially at the beginning of the day when our mental canvas is fresh. Feeding the mind with uplifting thoughts is not just about positivity. It is about aligning ourselves with divine truth. When you begin your day with the awareness that you are connected to God, that life is purposeful, and that challenges are opportunities for growth, then nothing can shake your inner balance. Problems still come, but they no longer control you. You respond with wisdom instead of reacting with fear. You become like a tree rooted deeply in the ground. Winds may blow, but you remain steady. Think of an athlete preparing for a big race. Before running, they listen to words that inspire, focus their mind, and strengthen their will. Those thoughts fuel them to run with determination. Life is also a race, and every morning is the preparation. If we prepare by feeding the mind with strength, we will run through the day with endurance and grace. Even just a few words can change the direction of your day. A single uplifting thought in the morning can echo in your mind all day long, guiding your actions and shaping your attitude. It could be something as simple as, "Today I will carry peace," or "God is with me in every step," or "This day is a blessing." That one seed planted in the mind grows into the tree of your entire day. So tomorrow, before the world pours its noise into your mind, pause. Choose what you will feed your mind. Read something uplifting, listen to something wise, or reflect on a truth that inspires you. Protect your mental space as carefully as you protect your home. Do not allow garbage to be dumped there, especially in the morning. Guard it, nourish it, and fill it with light. When you feed your mind with uplifting thoughts every morning, you are not just preparing for a good day. you are building a good life. Because a life is nothing but the sum of days, and days are shaped by the thoughts we carry. A nourished mind leads to a nourished life. And when your mind is fed with wisdom and positivity, you don't just survive the day, you shine through it with strength, clarity, and divine grace. Every morning, life gives us a choice. We can either drift through the day without direction, pulled by circumstances and other people's moods, or we can set an intention that becomes the compass guiding our steps. Setting clear intentions is not about controlling everything that happens. It is about deciding how you will show up, what energy you will carry, and what values you will embody. When you wake up and consciously choose your direction, you are no longer a passenger in life, you become the driver. The morning intention is like planting a flag in your heart that says, "This is who I will be today." Think of a ship sailing in the ocean. Without a compass, it is at the mercy of winds and waves. It may drift aimlessly and end up somewhere it never wanted to be. But with a clear direction, even when storms arise, it still knows where it is headed. Our days are like that ship. If we do not set intentions, we get lost in distractions, complaints, and negativity. But when we set a clear intention in the morning, even when challenges come, we remain aligned with our chosen path. Let's take a simple daily example. Imagine someone wakes up and doesn't set any intention. They rush into their routine, and the first small inconvenience, a traffic jam, a critical remark from someone, or a delay, spoils their mood. Their whole day becomes reactive. But imagine another person who, before stepping into the day, sets an intention. Today, I will remain calm no matter what happens. When the same traffic jam or criticism comes, they breathe, remember their intention, and stay grounded. The problem doesn't change, but the response does. That is the power of intention. Intentions act like invisible threads guiding your energy. If your intention is kindness, your words automatically soften. If your intention is patience, you pause before reacting. If your intention is gratitude, you notice blessings instead of complaints. The external world may remain chaotic, but your internal world becomes steady because you decided how you want to show up. One inspiring story is of a man who worked in a stressful office environment where negativity and complaints were common. Every morning before entering, he set an intention. I will be a source of positivity here. At first, it was difficult, but day by day, his energy began to influence others. His colleagues noticed that he didn't get pulled into gossip or complaints. Over time, his intention didn't just protect him from negativity, it uplifted those around him. This shows us that intentions are not just for ourselves. They ripple outward and touch everyone we meet. Setting intentions is not complicated. It doesn't require hours of planning. It only requires a few moments of mindfulness in the morning. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, how do I want to carry myself today? What energy do I want to spread? The answer may be one word: peace, love, patience, focus. Or it may be a sentence like, I will stay calm, or I will serve with kindness. The clarity of this decision strengthens your mind and heart. Without such clarity, the day easily scatters you. Think of an artist painting a canvas. If the artist doesn't decide what they want to paint, the brush strokes will be random and the picture may look messy. But if they decide first, the strokes follow a direction and a beautiful picture emerges. Your day is the canvas, and your intention is the sketch that guides every stroke. Without it, life feels random. With it, life feels meaningful. Let us take another daily example. A mother wakes up with countless tasks ahead, cooking, preparing children for school, managing household chores. If she enters the day without intention, the stress overwhelms her. But if she sets one clear intention, I will do everything today with love, her tasks become lighter. The same chores now carry joy because her heart is guided by love. She is not just cooking food, she is nurturing her family. The intention changes the quality of the action, even though the action is the same. Intentions also connect us to God's presence. When you set your intention in alignment with higher values like compassion, truth, or patience, you are essentially saying, God, let me be an instrument of your qualities today. This surrender makes your day more meaningful. You are no longer just living for yourself. You are living with a higher purpose. And that higher purpose fuels your spirit in a way nothing else can. Of course, setting intentions does not mean the day will go exactly as you want. Life has its surprises. But the point of intentions is not to control life, it is to control yourself. You cannot control the waves of the ocean, but you can control the direction of your sail. Intention gives you that inner control. It makes you proactive instead of reactive. Even when things go wrong, your intention holds you steady. For example, if your intention is peace and someone provokes you, you may still feel anger, but the intention reminds you not to let anger define you. You breathe, remember who you decided to be, and return to peace. Without intention, anger would take over. With intention, peace returns faster. This is why intentions are powerful. They give you an anchor. So tomorrow morning, before rushing into the day, pause. Place your hand on your heart and ask, who do I want to be today? What energy do I want to give the world? Whatever answer arises, hold it close. Repeat it to yourself. Carry it into your interactions, your challenges, and your choices. Even if you forget it during the day, return to it whenever you remember. That simple practice can transform not just your morning, but your entire life. Because when you set clear intentions each day, you don't just live by chance, you live by choice. You don't just react to life, you create it. And in that creation, you shine not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. Intentions are the invisible power that shapes visible reality. And when your intention is aligned with God's values, your life becomes a reflection of divine light.